guys, Emily Weber here. Thank you so much for joining me for this full-length Pilates Reformer class where we stretch out the holidays for us. We're going to go ahead and begin class today, standing at the end of our reformer. I've gone ahead and lowered my foot bar for the first couple exercises, and I have one light spring on. On my machine, that is one blue. I'm going to stand very close to the end of my machine or the foot bar, whichever one sticks out furthest, but I'm not going to lean into it at any point. It's there for tactile feedback. If we start to lean forward too far, then we use our weight to move the carriage. I'm going to squeeze my glutes to open up the fronts of my hip flexors, stack my shoulders over my hips over my heels. My heels are separated 6 bones distance apart, so right there, right underneath. I'm standing strong and tall. I'm going to inhale my arms up, biceps by my ears if it is accessible to me, and then I'm going to dive down and place the meaty parts of my palms on the edge of the carriage. I'm going to inhale to articulate and press the carriage away for cow. And exhale to squeeze my glutes and tuck and roll up into the cat. Exhale away into cow. Inhale up for cat. One more. And then we're going to begin the footwork. Now, articulate up, biceps by ears if possible, equally weighted between the 3 points of my foot, behind the big toe, behind the baby toe, and at the heel. When I'm working facing the carriage or facing the uprights, I am going to work so that my feet stay as if they're in this position or the Pilates feet position. So my heels will never cross over each other or be too far apart. If I were to slide my foot off of the carriage onto the floor, it would be in the exact same position. If you feel unstable today and you would like to raise your foot bar depending on your height for the footwork, please feel free to. Otherwise, bring your arms out to a T to assist with balance. Put your weight in your left foot, float your right foot to the side, and place that right heel on the carriage. From there, we're going to squeeze strongly on our glute on the left side, and we're going to extend the carriage away and release it back in. The challenge here is not moving the carriage with our right leg, but maintaining stability through our body as we move the carriage. The weight's not heavy, so really we're trying to maintain equal weight on the 3 points of our foot, keep our shoulders stacked over our hips stacked over our ankles. That's what they're called. Now, bring the carriage in, rotate the top foot to Pilates V, rotate on the heel for the standing foot to Pilates V, and slide that foot on the carriage down to a high heel position. Just like on the foot bar, we're going to have the weight of the edge of the carriage between the big toe and the second toe. Hands out to the Pilates V, rotate the femur and the hip socket so the knee tracks over the big toe, and extend and pull. Same thing here, we're really focusing on the stability of the body while we do this exercise. Since the weight is not very strong, we're just finding a movement, moving the fluid in our joints, and maintaining that neutral body position. Good. Here's 9 and 10. Now, what we're going to do is bring the foot on top of the carriage, toe ball heel it to the side. We're going to toe ball heel our bottom foot to the back. If this is too much for you, please step off, turn to the side, and bring the foot up to the front. We want the foot, the standing foot, to be behind it now. So we're going to go toe ball heel and bring that foot up to the carriage. So the toes on the standing foot are lining up with the toes on the carriage foot. We're going to start in the parallel position, pressing through the heel and releasing. You don't have to lift your toes up off the carriage. Just make sure that you're pressing through the heel. So you're really getting the outside of the glute at this point. You can bring your arms to your T, over your head, behind your head, on your nose, to your hips. I'm indifferent at this point as long as you're standing up straight and really engaging. Now, turn that top foot out to Pilates V, turn that bottom foot out to Pilates V. You are going to keep that top foot to the front. You're still going to be tracking the knee over the big toe and extend and pull it in. So instead of going directly to the side, the leg's going to be angled to the front slightly of your body. Don't forget to really squeeze that standing glute. That's the part of the leg that's really working here, or the leg that's really working here, not the leg that's moving. All right, bring the carriage back in, swing the foot around, bring it to the floor, come back to parallel with your heels underneath your sits bones, facing the front of the carriage. We get to do it all one more time on the other leg. So put that weight in the right leg, float that left leg up, bring it around, make sure that if you were to slide this foot off, it would stand directly next to the right foot on the ground. Make sure that your heel is pressing into the edge of the carriage, your hips are square, ribs are wrapped, nice wide collarbone, nice flat shoulder blades, and your foot is equally grounded from behind the big toe, behind the baby toe of the heel. Arms to the T, arms in the hips, arms behind the head, arms overhead. Whatever's fancy for you. You can float your arms down here if you're a little nervous, so you can reach down for the foot bar. Woo! And now we're going to press. Squeeze that glute to press it out. Don't allow the weight of your body to move that carriage forward. So while we're really stabilizing from this leg, we're using that glute to really press it out. Good. Here's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Go ahead and stop there. Slide that foot down, turn it out, turn the other foot out. Make sure that if you slid that foot down, your heel should be touching. You don't want it to be, if you do ballet, in a 4th or 5th position. You want it to slide down to a 1st position or a Pilates B position. Really squeeze those glutes, rotate the femur in the hip socket, track the knee over the big toe. Arms to where you're working from, up on a high heel position, and press it out and pull it in. 1. Again, guys, the weight is between the big toe and the second toe. I really like working standing footwork. I think I just like the variation. Here's 9. 1 more. All right, let's work to the side. So we're going to rotate to the side and bring our foot forward, or bring that foot off and bring our feet together. Now, toe ball heel your foot. Bring that foot to the front corner. Press that heel into the carriage. You don't have to lift your toes. And now press the carriage away and pull it back in. The carriage is light enough to where hopefully you can really find that glute work here, as opposed to really struggling against the weight of the carriage. We really want to just warm up the glutes here. Good. Hands where they will be. 1 more. Now, turn that bottom foot out to Pilates C by rotating on the heel, and just bring that toe up, or bring that heel up, and rotate the femur and the hip socket so the knee's tracking over the big toe. And again, the weight's between the big toe and the second toe. And now press. And then just bend and release the carriage and resist it back in. Here's 2. Whoop, don't let it do that. 3. Whoop, don't let it do that. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Good. Go ahead and release the carriage back in. Gently flip that foot up, off, and around. We're going to come to side lying. If you would like some head support, such as a squishy ball, or a rolled up towel, or a small yoga block, please go ahead and grab it. We're going to put our head support in between our shoulder blocks. We're going to raise our foot bar, and we're going to replace our spring with 1 medium spring or 1 red spring. From there, I'm going to come lying on my side. I'm going to extend my leg underneath the foot bar. Before you do that though, make sure that you have a lift in your side closest to the mat. You're gonna have to engage your inner thigh here so that your leg doesn't scrape, but not by much, most likely, depending on your machine. And again, I have my foot to the front of the foot bar. My shoulder is pressed back so that I do have tactile feedback from my shoulder block behind me. From there, I'm going to leave my knee, or my thigh, and my foot bar in line, or parallel, and press the carriage out through the heel, and release. 1, press and release. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, don't forget that inner thigh, 7. You can place that front hand on the shoulder block. I like that to help not twist the top of my body. Stay out on 10, or you can place it in front of you. And now lift and lower that heel and tap. Lift and tap. Lift and tap. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and resist the carriage back in. Now, leave the foot there, but rotate out to a Pilates feet position and a high heel. And now we're gonna press from here. This is very similar, well, actually it's the same pattern that we did standing, just with some additional fun things. We're going to add on after this as well. Make sure that you really rotate the femur in the hip socket and that your knee's tracking over the big toe. Make sure the inner thigh is still engaged. Now stay out on 10. And now using the inner thigh, go up and down and up and down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and now leave it up there. Now go front and back for 1, 2. So our top leg's in front of us slightly, but the bottom leg's still lined up with the body. Bring it back to center, and 5 small circles in each direction. 2, 3, 4, 5, and reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5, and resist spring tension back in. Coming through center, we're going to bring our feet underneath the sits bones in a high heel position and press the carriage away. The spring tension is very light, so it's going to encourage us to use a lot of ab control to keep a neutral body. We can just go ahead and rest the belly button on our belly, or rest the squishy ball on our belly. The left heel will go under as the right knee bends over the foot bar and lift both feet. Now right heel goes under, left knee bends, and now lift. After both heels are lifted, you can drop the left heel and lift both heels and drop the right heel. How light the spring tension is does necessitate a slower movement pattern to ensure that we're not rocking in our body. It also requires most likely a substantial amount more of glute work than you probably noticed if the springs are heavier in previous classes that you've taken with me. This is due to the lighter spring tension and how much more muscle it requires to maintain a stable body. Here's 9, 1 more, and 10. From there, we're going to drop both heels under, bend the knees, bringing the carriage into the bumper. Keeping the carriage into the bumper, we're going to rise up onto the balls of our feet and press the carriage out. And now drop both heels and bend the knees to come in. While we're at the bumper, we're going to lift our heels. Press out on 1, drop the heels on 2. Bend the knees to come in, lift the heels on 4. If you feel the carriage start to rock or bounce, you're using too much momentum and not enough control to move the carriage. Now, keep the carriage in at the bumper. We're going to reverse. So we're going to press out. And as we press out, we're going to press our heels under. And then we're going to rise up to the balls of our feet. And as we bend our knees to come in, our feet are in high heel. Press your heels under as you press the carriage away. Lift and bend to come in. Press your heels under and press the carriage away. Lift and come in high heel. 1 more. Good. Let's go ahead and roll to the other side. This is my right side closest mat, so when we're working my left side, I place the ball back in the headrest. I'm going to bring my head back onto the ball. I'm going to press back. So I'm near the edge, but I feel the shoulder block at my back. I'm going to bring my left foot onto the foot bar. My leg is parallel or in line with the foot bar. I'm going to extend my right leg underneath the foot bar with a slight lift in my lower body, so it's not sinking into the mat. I have a slight lift from my hip to my ribs. Use my inner thigh to float my leg up slightly. Now, I'm working through the heel. I don't have to leave my toes up, but I do have to press through the glutes and resist it back in. Again, I can place my hand gently in front of my body. I prefer to place it on the shoulder block. I find that when the weight's a little lighter, I like to just move it around for whatever reason. I'm really indifferent as to what you do with your hand as long as you're not twisting in your upper body. Make sure that you're keeping your leg in line with the foot bar though. Here's 9. Now on 10, we're going to stay out there. And we're going to rise up to the ball foot, tap the heel, and lift and tap. Lift and tap. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Squeeze the glutes. 10, and resist the carriage back in. Now, turn the top foot out to Pilates V, leaving the ball of the foot where it is at the edge of the machine. Track the knee over the big toe. Make sure you still have that lift in your side. Now press out and come back in. Resist back in. Guys, as we discussed previously, while the top leg is in front of my bottom leg is still lined up with my body. Here's 6, 7, 8. Make sure you're not pressing so hard that the machine's popping around or jumping. 9. Now on 10, we're going to stay out there. Using the inner thigh, we're going to lower and lift leg for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it lifted. Now front and back. Slightly. When you bring it back, squeeze the glutes to bring it back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 small circles in each direction. 2, 3, 4, 5, and reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5. Resist the carriage to bring it back in. Now, come up off of your side. Guys, we will not be needing the ball again. So we're going to go ahead and place it to the side. I'm going to drop my headrest. I'm going to leave my spring tension on 1 rep. I'm going to place my legs through through the shoulder blocks. I'm going to make sure that there's a hand's width behind my tail to the end of the machine, and I'm going to find my handles. I'm going to touch my handles in the center as if I'm hugging a tree right in the middle. My straps are short. I shorten them more than most people. So if you find that your straps are too long to do this exercise, go ahead and choke up, but hold it with stinky fingers so you're not gripping for dear life on your forearms, right? We're going to connect our knuckles in the middle, squeeze under our arms, and we're going to do 6 rollbacks. So we're going to tuck the tail, move the carriage with your tail before you begin to articulate back. Hold it and articulate back up. And tuck the tail first and then articulate back. Squeezing under the arms the whole time. And articulate back up. And tuck and articulate. And lift it back up. Here's 4. And 5. And let's do one more. And here's 6. Now from there, we are going to go ahead and do a flat back hinge. So bring your arms up to a 90-degree angle. Squeeze under the arms and just flat back, hinge back, bringing that 90-degree angle with you and allow it to float you back up. And flat back, hinge back and hold it and come back up. The tension should be assistive and it should be challenging at the same time. It should assist you in floating back up, but it should be challenging to make sure that you're holding the neutral spine on the way back. Guys, I lost count. I think we have one more. Let's just go for it. One more. And come back up. From there, we're going to reach our hands in front of us. As I suggested earlier, if you have not enough weight, go ahead and stinky sock it up to the, this is my tape, it might be your knot. So I'm gonna hold on to here. We're going to bow and arrow. So I'm going to move my right arm first with rotation, but my left arm is going to stay exactly where it is. So I'm going to pull my right elbow back as I rotate and look back towards my foot bar. And I'm going to release it forward. I'm going to pull my left elbow back as I rotate and look towards the foot bar. And bring my elbow forward. If this is too much for you, go back to the handles. Or guys, you don't have to use the pulley system at all. Go ahead and just do the exercise and find the rotation. Here's 4. And 5. Make sure that you have equal weight in both of your straps before you begin to pull the opposite side. And again, guys, make sure that you're not balancing the machine. Good. Keeping your fingers where they are, we're going to scooch our high knees up near the shoulder box. You don't have to sit right up on it. My feet are on the headrest. My toes are hanging off. I'm going to tuck my tail and roll back. From there, I can scooch forward just a little bit if I like, but we are going to come up into teaser from here. So hold on with sort of stinky little socks. Inhale, exhale. Begin to articulate up. Bring your legs to tabletop first, and then extend. The straps will really help you to tweeze the bottom tips of your shoulder blades and sit up nice and tall in your teaser. Now bend the knees into tabletop and articulate back down. Leave the legs in tabletop if you're able to. We're gonna stay in curl up. Inhale, exhale, articulate up and extend your legs. And now lower the arms an inch and lift. Lower the arms an inch and lift. Lower the arms an inch, woo, and lift. Now bend the knees to tabletop and articulate down, but stay in curl up. Inhale, exhale, articulate up, 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 up. Turn the feet out to Pilates feet and beat the heels in little heel beats for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the legs to tabletop, tuck the tail, articulate back, place your feet on the headrest, and allow the springs to help you up. Peg your straps. We're going to be doing reverse ab curl, so we are going to change the spring tension to one light spring, or in my machine, one glue spring. I love reverse ab curl. I can really find a nice stretch in my low back. It's still a great exercise to really work those abs on and that articulation. So, I'm going to walk my legs to a quadruped position where my thighs are gently touching the shoulder blocks. They're not jammed in there, right? And my hands are on the frame. My fingers are all together, including my thumbs. And my shoulders are over my wrists. I have a nice neutral spine from here. Instead of sawing your arms to pull the carriage forward, we want to tuck our tail and use an articulation to pull it forward without moving our arms. And tuck. And inhale. And tuck. It's easy once you sort of get going to really want to saw the arms to move the carriage. That's not what we're going for here. 6, We really want to find some stretching in our back. Let's do 2 more here. Now, so you can see what my leg is doing. I'm going to be moving my left leg first. I'm going to lift my left leg up, and I'm going to tap the knee across like I'm curtsying to the outside of my leg. I'm going to begin here for 5, and then there's going to be an option to add on and make it a little bit more challenging. So, same movement. Again, don't saw with your arms, and don't move the carriage with your hips. Let's do 2 more here. Now, extend your leg if you so like, but try to keep your hips square. So go ahead and take a look. Where your hips were before, you want to find that same spot. Squeeze the glutes strongly on the arabesque leg or the left leg extended behind you. Now, as you tuck, leave it in arabesque and then extend back. When I do this, the stronger I am squeezing my glutes, the more of a hip flexor stretch or psoas stretch I can find across the front of the hip that's an arabesque. And 1 more. Go ahead and replace that left leg back at the shoulder block. Now bring the right leg up and tap the knee across the body in a curtsy first. Now we're going to do 5 here, and if we so choose to, we can add on with an arabesque. So, again, don't saw the arms and don't move at the hips for this exercise. The articulation of your back should be moving the carriage, much like in the cat-cow at the beginning of the class. And now, if you so choose to, you can extend the leg. Really squeeze the glutes on that right leg and make sure that you're not dropping your hips, honey. And now begin to work. 1. And tuck and lift. 2. Imagine you're being punched in the stomach. 3. 4. 1 more. And 5. Replace that right leg. Extend your arms out long on the frame, and you can place your forehead on the headrest and find a child's pose position. Bring both hands to the right side to find a stretch of that left side. Bring your hands back through center. Bring your right hand to the left side to find a stretch through that right side. And come back through center. Now, walk yourself up to sitting as you articulate up. Head is going to come up last. Let's go ahead and check our spring tension here. So, we have one blue on right now. Let's go ahead, we're gonna put one green spring on. That's one heavy spring on my machine. If you have a light and a medium, but not a heavy, go ahead and put a light and a medium on. It could be a little heavier, it could not be. I'm not 100% sure about your machine, but if it is too heavy, drop it down to one medium. So I'm going to face the front of the machine, tuck my toes, place my heels against the shoulder blocks. I'm going to put more weight in my pinky blade edge, pull my shoulders away from my ears, and pull the carriage apart. Go ahead and look in the mirror if you have it to make sure your shoulder blades are nice and flat and wide. From there, I'm going to lift up and press my glutes forward so that my shoulders are over my wrists. If you need a knee pad for this exercise, you can roll up a mat, you can roll up a towel, you can place a wedge or a mat under your knee. From there, I'm going to press the carriage away and squeeze under to come back in. And press it away. I am sawing with my arms now, guys. This is the time to do it. Here's 4. 1 more. And here's 5. Now stay in at the bumper. Now lift your knees up into a plank. Whoop. Don't allow your back this way like I just did. And then lower and tap and lift. Don't sway your back. Lower and tap and lift. 3. Lower and tap and lift. 4. One more, lower and tap and lift 5. Now, take your right hand in towards the center or more towards the left-hand side and rotate your body so you're in a star facing the opposite side. We're going to press out here, lifting our arm up in a star, and then saw our arm back under. One more. Actually, 2 more, I'm sorry. Squeeze those glutes, squeeze those inner thighs. Now we have 3 more, but if you so choose, you can take your front foot and tap it on top of the shoulder block of your back foot. And now press away and lift your arm for 3. And press away and lift your arm for 2. And press away and lift your arm for 1. Now come back to your center. And we're going to press away in a long stretch, traditional long stretch as opposed to the knee one, for 5. Press away in a plank, a long stretch for 2. 3. Here's 4. And here is 5. Now take your left hand, walk it towards the right side, rotate your body to the side, lift up, and press the carriage away, lifting the top arm for 3. And press away, lift the top arm for 2. And saw the arm back under. And press away and lift for 1. Now, if you want to add on, take that top leg, tap it on top of the shoulder block. For the back leg, we have 3 more in whatever position you choose. 1. And pull. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the inner thighs. 2. 1 more. And 3. Bring the right hand back down, replace that top leg, rotate back towards the center, drop the knees. We're going to sit back real fast. We're going to change our spring tension to 1 medium and 1 light. That's 1 red, 1 blue on my machine. We're going to get rid of the 1 heavy. That's 1 green on my machine. Place your hands wide on the foot bar. Tuck your toes again, press the heels against the shoulder blocks. Squeeze your glutes. And do a slight, tiny necklace lift. Or a sternum lift. We're going to go into down stretch. So press the carriage away. And pull it back under. And press it away. And pull under. Here's 3. Here's 4. We're going to 5 here again, guys. Make sure that you're not sinking at your low back or really creasing at the low back. Now, lift up, hike at the hips, press your hips back on the balls of your feet or on your toes. Now walk down to a flat foot position with your legs right in front of the shoulder blocks. Lift your toes. Make sure that you're equally weighted behind your big toe, your baby toe, and your heel, just like we did for the beginning of class. Now round up, bring your biceps by your ears, looking in at your thighs, and round back elephant for press out and pull under for 10. 9. 8. We have a lot of experience with this round back position. So see if you can really deepen this position and get a lot of work out of it. 3, 2, 1. Press back into a flat back position and then press back and under and really find a stretch in your hamstrings. Really press away from the foot bar to increase that hamstring stretch unless you have hip replacements. 3, 2, 1. Stay in flat back. Make your left foot light and bring it through the headrest. Keep your hips square. Go ahead and take a look. And now one-legged for 10. 9. 8. Flex that arabesque foot. 4, 3, keep equal weight in your foot. Bring that foot down, replace it in front of the shoulder block. Make that right foot light and lift it up. Make sure your hips are square, flex that foot, press away from the foot bar as you press. 1, 2. Keep your biceps by your ears. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Replace that foot down. Step off to the side with one foot, other foot, and then release your hands. We're going to come to sitting down on the carriage. Guys, your headrest should still be down from when you had your legs through the shoulder blocks. We're going to come onto our backs. We are going to come into a Pilates V position on the toes for bridging work. We're going to be leveling up for bridging for the next couple exercises. They're going to be just sort of seasoned in there. We're going to start with bridging here with presses out and in. We're going to do a modified semicircle, and then we're going to do semicircle. If at any time you feel like these exercises are not for you, please go back to one of the previous exercises. So, imprint your spine, tuck your tail, articulate up, and articulate back down. Guys, you should feel this strongly in your ribs, and you shouldn't be flaring your ribs at all. So really platform through the shoulder blades. Now on this next one, we're going to press out and pull in for 5. Imprint, tuck your tail, articulate up, and now press out. Squeeze the glutes. You'll probably have to lower your hips a little bit to press your legs out all the way. You'll also find this to be true in semicircle. There's 3. And here is 4. And here is 5. Now come back in, hold the carriage on the bumper, and articulate down. We're going to come onto our side. We have scooter and some stretching, and then we're going to do modified semicircle and go to the other side, and then we're going to do semicircle. So I'm going to place my left hand at the edge of the foot bar. I'm going to place my right hand more towards the middle. My right foot is going to be up on the foot bar, toes tucked, heel against the shoulder block. I'm going to bend my knees. When I bend my knees, they're going to be lined up with each other. I do have the inside of my left leg pressing into the frame of the reformer for support and stability. I've squared my hips. I'm in a neutral spine. From there, I'm going to squeeze my glutes and press the carriage away and back in. Think of this like the exercise that we did earlier when we started with standing footwork. We're going parallel first, and then we're going to turn it up. 8, 9, 10. Now, rotate the femur in the hip socket, sort of splay the bottom half of the body, but keep the shoulders square with the foot bar and press the carriage away. Think of a dog with a fire hydrant. I have yet to find a better example. Here's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now come back in, place your knee down, remove that medium spring so you have one light spring on. We're going to walk our toes up so that our toes are lined up with the end of our machine. We're going to square our hips, rest our knee on the machine. Now, squeeze your glutes and open up the front of that hip so you can feel a nice psoas stretch here. We're not pressing the carriage away, guys. We're just really squeezing and tucking to find that stretch and release. Now squeeze and tuck strongly and release. One more. Stay there. Now we're going to press the carriage back by bending that front knee. I've increased my hip stretch already. I can really feel it. Now, if I want to, I'm going to stretch out that front leg. Uh-oh. I feel that guy, right? Lift that left arm up and side bend towards the right side. Place more weight in your pinky blade edge of your right hand so that you're really pulling the shoulder away from your ear and engaging under the arm. Come back up to the front, replace that hand, bend that knee, find that psoas stretch first with the carriage of the bumper, and come off. I'm going to lift my headrest for this next exercise, but we're going to put it down in 5 seconds. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my feet out. My toes, I don't want them shoving into the wood because it makes me really mad. If you prefer to have your foot under the carriage, please feel free to. Don't go so far though that you can't adjust as needed. So I still have it in the same spot that it would be under the carriage, but it's not going to touch the wood. I'm going to put my weight in my left leg, lift my right foot up, and I'm going to put the ball of my foot behind my big toe, between the headrest and the carriage. From there, I'm going to float my arms up and dive down. We're going to do a left side split. If you start to feel this in your knee too much, please do not do this exercise. I'm going to press the carriage away, away, away. Finding a center straddle split. Then I'm going to tuck, resist the spring tension as the carriage comes back in. Dropping my head. I'm going to press the carriage away, articulating down, finding a center split position. I'm going to articulate up, pulling the carriage back in. Guys, I have one more. And then we're going to do the modified semicircle, and then the other side, scooter and stretches. Now tuck my tail and come back in. Good. The first thing I'm going to do after I release my leg and then my hands is I'm going to drop my headrest. I can come to sitting on my carriage. I'm going to replace that medium spring. I have one medium spring on it and one leg spring on my machine. This one red, one blue. I'm going to come back down the line. I'm going to place my hands on my pegs or my shoulder blocks if I don't have pegs. I'm going to scooch away slightly from the shoulder blocks. I'm in that same Pilates V position that we just did for bridging. Let's do modified semicircle. So keeping the carriage in at the bumper, I'm going to imprint my spine, tuck my tail, and articulate up. From there, I'm going to press it out to straight legs. Again, my hips will drop slightly, right guys? I'm going to articulate my spine down, vertebra, 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 and then I'm going to bend my knees to pull the springs, to pull the carriage in to the bumper. And for my spine, take my tail, articulate up, and press it out. And articulate down, and hamstring curl it in, guys. That's better for you. And for my spine, take my tail, drive my knees over the foot bar, but really squeeze my glutes. Articulate down and pull it in. Leaving my tail and my entire spine on the carriage. We're going to reverse. We're going to press it out on one. Then I'm going to imprint my spine. My knees are going to bend slightly as I start to imprint my spine because I can't do it with straight legs. Tuck my tail and lift up into a bridge. My knees are slightly bent in the world's longest diamond. And then I'm going to articulate my spine back down. Press out with my spine down. Tuck my tail, begin to articulate up. Pull the carriage in. Articulate down. One more. Press out on one. Articulate up on two. Pull it in on three. And articulate down on four. From there, I'm going to come off the carriage to the other side. It's time for the second side scooter. Right hand closest to the edge. Left hand a little bit past the center. Left leg, toes tucked, heel against the shoulder block. Bend both knees so they're in line. My right leg is pressing in to the carriage or the frame for stability. I'm going to press out and resist it back in. I'm keeping a nice neutral spine the whole time. Well, I think it was slightly swayed to begin. Hold those ribs in, guys. Don't do like me. Here's 6, 7, 8, squeeze glutes 9, and 10. Now, rotate the bottom half of the body, but not the shoulders. My knees are still tracking over my big toe. I'm gonna press and pull in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, woo, just 2 more, 9, lots of legs today, right? And 10. Okay. Go ahead and come back to parallel, press that knee down, remove that medium spring or the red spring, so all we have on is one light or one blue. Bring your right toes up to the end of your frame, square your hips, tuck that tail strongly. I'm not moving the carriage, but using the resistance of the carriage underneath my knee to really pull that hip forward, I can find a nice stretch. And release. Now tuck the tail. This is just like a ensuring you're not pulling your foot. You're leaving it behind you. And release. One more. Now, stay here for a second, and now press back. Bend that front knee to press down. Find a really deep hip stretch. Now, if you want, press that leg forward into a split stretch. Take that right arm up by your ear and side bend towards the left side. Give me more weight in your left pinky blade edge to drive that shoulder down and squeezing under the arm. Come back up, replace that right hand, bend the knee first to find a really deep hip stretch. And then come up to find that tucked psoas stretch. And then come off the side. We're gonna raise the headrest again, guys. We're gonna drop it again in 5 seconds. Again, guys, I like to bring my foot outside of the wood, but if you prefer to bring it under the wood, please feel free to. Find that Pilates feet. Lift that left leg up. Place the ball of the foot behind the big toe, in between the headrest, or the headrest and the carriage. Arms up, dive down. Again, guys, if this hurts your knee, please do not do this stretch. We're gonna press that out. Hold it for a second. Now tuck the tail and pull it back in. And press it out. Hold it here for a second. And then we're going to tuck the tail and pull it back in. One more. Tuck the tail and press it out. Good. Now come back in. When the carriage is in the bumper, go ahead and release that foot, bend the hands. But go ahead and place that red spring back on. We're going to go ahead and change our straps to feet straps before we do anything else, so we don't have to get up again. Drop the headrest. Come to lying down again. Again, guys, this is the full C version of semicircle. If you have low back problems, please do not do this exercise. If you have never done it before and are concerned about it, please don't do this exercise. Please feel free to do the bridging exercise or the modified semicircle. Otherwise, I'm going to come to Pilates feet, heels raised, toes on the foot bar. I'm going to raise my tail up and I'm going to press away from the shoulder blocks. I'm hanging onto the shoulder blocks now. My tail is in the well. From here, I'm going to tuck my tail and articulate up, driving my knees over the foot bar. The carriage will move most likely because I have dipped down so low and it is creating space between my carriage and the carriage and the bumper. Then I'm going to press the carriage away and articulate down into the wall, so my high knees hanging into the springs. Bend my knees to come in, tuck my tail, articulate up, driving my knees over the foot bar. Press the carriage away. Guys, make sure that you're using your glutes strongly. Articulate down. I'm going to relax my ankles as I come into the foot bar. And then as I rise up to the bridge, I'm going to come into high heel again. Press it away, articulate down, and come in to the bumper. Now I'm going to press away my tail into the springs. Articulate up, bend my knees, resisting the spring tension, and articulate down into the well and press away. And lift, and in, and articulate down, and press, and lift, and in. And from there, I'm going to pull myself back with a bicep curl, bringing my shoulders against the shoulder block, and safely bringing my body onto the carriage. From there, I'm going to find my left foot strap, press the carriage away with my right leg, bending my left leg in, putting my foot in that foot strap, and then I'm going to bend my right leg, keeping my tail completely flat against the carriage as I come in. Don't allow the springs to lift your tail, but find that deep stretch down the back of the leg and keep a nice straight leg. From there, I'm going to straighten my leg slightly until I have slack and bring my leg across my the center line of my body, and then I'm going to bend and allow the leg to come up. I can take 2 fingers from my right hand and gently place them on the springs. If my left hip floats off gently, no problem. Make sure that my left 12 rib is in the mat though. Make sure that leg's nice and straight. Now, straighten that right leg again. Bring the leg to the side. I like to turn my standing leg or my right leg slightly out to Pilates V as I bend it so both my legs are doing the same thing. And I'm going to gently use 2 fingers. I'm going to hook my finger in my ring to pull that leg down, bringing my toes to my ear. Now straighten that right leg and bring that left leg down to straight. Take your right leg, we're going into a figure 4. So when I bring my right leg across my left leg, I'm coming above the knee on my thigh, but I'm bringing my right leg across above the ankle at my shin. Now I'm going to bend that left leg. No tucksies. No tucksies. We're stretching hips, not backs and glutes, which we will stretch later. But right now we're stretching hips. If you need a little extra, flex that right foot strongly. Now press that left foot away. Unwrap that right leg. Bend that left leg gently. Find that foot bar. Remove that left foot strap. Uh-oh, we're changing. Peg the left, bring up the right. And now put that foot strap on the right foot and bend that left leg for ballet stretches on the right leg. Straighten that left leg, bring that right leg across the midline of the body, bend that left leg. You can place 2 fingers on the strap to increase that IT band stretch. Make sure the leg is straight. Again, guys, if that right hip floats off gently, no problem. Make sure that the right 12th rib is all the way into the mat though. Guys, we have feet and straps after this, and a few more stretches, and we're going to be done. Straighten that left leg. I like to turn out that left foot gently. As I bring that right leg out to the side, I'm going to hook my finger in that loop to pull that down to my ear, but I'm going to straighten my leg all the way. Make sure that my sacrum is completely flat, and I'm not shifting my hips from side to side. Now straighten that left leg, bring that right leg all the way down. We're going to figure 4 stretch again, so bring the left leg above the knee on the shin and bring the left leg above the ankle on the shin. Above the knee on the thigh. I think I said shin. Whoops. Lots of directions, right? Don't forget, guys, leave that sacrum completely flat, and if you need extra, flex that left foot. We're stretching the hips here and not the back and glutes. Straighten that right leg. Find that left foot strap. Place it in the strap. Come into a frog position. Keep the tail down. And now press the legs away. And bend. Here's 10. Lower them. And lower. So you're working more abs. Lower. 1 more. Float. Hover your hands up by your side and lift as you press and lower. And curl up and lower. Here's 3. And 4. And on 5, we're going to stay up. We're going to do the hundreds and inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. While our legs are being supported, don't forget to squeeze your glutes and your inner thighs and your heels together. Slide your hips towards your hips, squeeze under your arms and reach strongly towards the foot bar. Draw your ribs together, have a nice wide open collarbone. Don't crunch your chin to your chest. Inhale continuously for 5 and exhale continuously for 5. Final one. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders, rest your arms. Float your legs up to the ceiling. And now lower your legs down by squeezing your glutes and your hamstrings. And float it back up. And lower and squeeze. Make sure that you're keeping control of your core and you're not arching your back when you're lowering your legs. Here's 4. And 5. We're going to 10. Here's 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Raise it up. 5. Double leg circles in each direction. Open and down. And squeeze with control so that you don't tap, tap. Like there's no place like home, like Dorothy in Wizard of Oz. 1 tap. And squeeze. Again, guys, if you want more ab work, lower your legs further when they come together. You know where my legs love to double tap is when I reverse it. And so my legs go down through the center. And when they go up and around, I love to tap, tap them at the top. Yep, there they went. And lower. And lift and resist, resist, resist. Ugh, I can't stop it for some reason. Maybe I'm raising them too high. I can never figure it out. No problems on the way down. Here's 4. So don't be too hard on yourselves, guys. We all have stuff to work on, right? We're doing great. And 5. Reach behind you. Make sure your headrest is down. Bring your legs into a frog. We're going to do a couple variations of short spine. We're going to do 3 sets of each variation, or 3 times of each variation. So press out on one double leg, pike at the hips, articulate your hips up into a shoulder bridge, bend the knees down over that shoulder blocks, and articulate down, 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 down. I like to straighten my legs, leaving them where they are in space on the way down for an added hamstring stretch, and then hamstring curl. Press out and articulate up and bend. So leave your feet exactly where they are. Don't move the straps. And articulate down. And stretch out those hamstrings a little bit more, right? 1 more right here. On the next 2 variations, we're going to take that leg with us to increase the stretch that we're going for. So, not the same. We're going to take that right leg out. We're going to find the figure 4 stretch. So we're not on our knee, we're not on our ankle. We're going to do short spine from here. So really platform in through those arms, guys. Press out on 1, pike at the hips, squeeze your glutes, stand into that strap. Now bend at the knee, keeping the knee really close to the body, articulate down, 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 down. We're taking the strap with us. Press out on 1, pike at the hips, articulate up to shoulder bridge, bend the knee, articulate down. 1 more. And down. Now straighten that left leg. Put the strap back on the right leg. Straighten the right leg. Bend the left leg. Remove the strap. Find that figure 4 stretch again, where you're not on the knee, not on the ankle. Now press out on 1. Pike at the hips. Articulate up. Bend at the knee. And then articulate down. Bringing that leg with you. And press out on 1. And up on 2. 3. Down on 4. Press out on 1. Articulate up on 3. Or 2. Here, bend on 3. And down on 4. Straighten that right leg. Place that left foot strap back on. Lift the legs straight up. Find a nice hamstring stretch. Micro bend your right leg and straighten. And left leg and straighten. Right leg. So we're really finding the stretch in each leg. left leg, and right leg. Good. And left leg. One more on each side. Left leg. Now, open the legs to a wide straddle stretch. You can take two hands on either pulley if you'd like, and you can gently rock from side to side too. Not so far that you fall off your reformer though, right? From there, we're going to bend our knees into a happy baby. So our feet are straight up to the ceiling and our knees are down. I like to take my forearms and press them into my knees to widen my knees a little bit more. It increases my groin stretch. Try to drop that tail flat to the mat. Now, bring the palms of your feet together as if they're praying in a tight butterfly stretch and pull those straps in by bending the forearms down to the mat, bending the elbows, not in the upper shoulders, right? If this next stretch is accessible to you and does not cause you any pain, you can drop your feet down to the springs and you can pull up on those straps to increase that stretch if you'd like to. Now to get out of this stretch, we're going to come through the butterfly, extend out to the straddle stretch, come up to the hamstring stretch, bend our knees in, extend our right leg, remove that left strap, bend our right foot till our left foot finds the foot bar, and remove that right strap. From there, I'm going to come to the side and come up to standing. I'm going to come back to the end of my machine. I'm going to drop my spring tension down to the spring tension at the beginning of class, which was one light or one blue. If you would like to, you can drop your foot bar. We are just going to do the cat-cow. I am going to do this cat-cow in Pilates V, since I did it in parallel at the beginning of class. I'm going to inhale, lift my arms, and exhale, dive down, placing the meaty parts of my palms wide on the carriage, and press it away. You might find that you're not tall enough to have your foot bar. No problem, just go ahead and adjust it. One more. Now articulate up, 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 up. Do a slight lift of the chest to where the wall of the ceiling meet. Open your arms wide and lower them. Guys, thank you so much for joining me for this full-length Pilates Reformer stretch class. If you have any questions or need any modifications, please feel free to reach out. I hope that you have a great day and happy holidays. Thank you.